If you'd like to see more of our videos, hit the subscribe button to stay on. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's October 16, 2020. And today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, really the market's trading sideways. No major events as it's consolidating. But looking at the economic events today, just one event scheduled for today. Coming out of the United States, monthly retail sales coming out. It is an important number since the consumer spending is very important in the United States. It does give us some indication of how consumers are or are not spending. Now looking at the markets first, looking at the currencies, US dollar continues to gain modestly while the NASDAQ shows some real weakness while the Dow Jones breaks a 3-day losing streak. Gold pretty much faltering, but looking to set up a upwards trend. Okay, I'm going to show you how that is possible. Oil pretty much unchanged. Lastly, looking at the stocks, Alcoa has a gap down and filling in the gap, or trying to fill in the gap, while tech stocks are trading sideways. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So looking here at the Gbp Usd at a 4-hour chart, you can see we're pretty much back to that bottom range. Look at that. Okay, so we're trading beautifully within this real range between this 130.62ish level and 128.87, and sure enough we're right back there. Okay, so I don't want to celebrate this and say it's gonna break on the downside or break on the upside, but it is right now consolidating. Okay, so as long as it's trading within these parameters, I don't expect it to break out. Now looking at the Eur Usd, also the dollar getting a little bit stronger there. It looks like we're setting up a formation, which is a triangle, as you can see here. As you can see, we are consolidating, and just seems like, we're right now at that bottom range. Okay, as we've broken that support level, 1720-ish level. So with that said, okay, I do expect it to bounce off of these areas. Now jumping into commodities, gold trading in an interesting wedge formation. Okay, it's a ascending wedge formation as it's looking to continuously break this upper side. Okay, so I'm going to keep this on the radar. Really very important to see this, because this is 1, 2, 3, 4th time, and 5th time usually is a charm. So just keep that in mind as this unfolds. Now looking at oil, really not much doing. Okay, just giving up about a $0.50 from yesterday. Jumping into the Dow Jones. All right, this is where it's at. We're trading at 28,351. Okay, let's look at a 4-hour chart because that's more relevant to where we are standing. Okay, now we did hit a bit of a big sell-off this week, going from 28,800-ish level to 28,000, bouncing, and we're right almost smack middle of that. Okay, so with that said, that's a normal place for it to retrace. I did expect this. Now what's coming up, okay, in the next 2 weeks is some major earning reports coming out for the high-tech stocks. Okay, the big FANG stocks are coming up, so it is something we want to keep an eye on. Now looking at the NASDAQ, it's kind of weak. All right, yesterday we did not bounce. Okay, whereas the Dow Jones, we did bounce. NASDAQ did not. If you look at the tech stocks, they were dead. Okay, Apple not really bouncing here. Facebook even down. All right, below that resistance-ish level. Microsoft also. Okay, trading just a little bit higher, but nothing really to write home about. Okay, so everybody's just waiting it out to see how the earning reports are going to be actually unfolding. Now there's a few things that are happening here. Obviously the elections, obviously the pandemic, but I think that the markets are still waiting it out to see how the markets will actually see with the corporate earnings, how that's going to come out. So I wouldn't be too aggressive today. I would look for some future opportunities next week as things do unfold. Now I just want to jump into Alcoa, since we did mention that we had a gap and go here. Okay, it was almost a fill in the gap, okay, but it hasn't filled in the gap yet. Okay, and it did retrace somewhat. It was a big gap down, 1305 down to 1145. That is a very big gap down, especially for this size of stock, and we do see ourselves kind of breaking ourselves back. Now remember, everything is already taken into account. We are in a pandemic, yes. We are in a situation where businesses are taking back some of their expenditures right now, absolutely. Okay, so just if you can refer back to 1918, okay, and you could look at exactly from between 1918 to 1928, the markets did return, okay? And I do expect the markets to return as well here as we get into the next session. So keep that in mind as we go into the next couple of weeks. It will be tumultuous just because we're not sure of who's going to be president next. There's a lot of X factors in the markets right now. So I think right before the elections, we're going to simmer down, okay, as it's going to be more choppy trading as things kind of evolve, okay? However, in the next 2 weeks, we will have a better idea of where the markets of the high-tech stocks are going, and that is really what has been driving us higher throughout the year. So keep that in mind. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.